So the next graph that we have, it's the fertilizing in the field. So what we have is how much fertilizers are used versus how much crop I have. Okay? Any of you have planted before? Have you used fertilizers before? Okay. So you put fertilizers. What does a fertilizer do? Help your plant grow. What if you use too much fertilizer? What does it do? It kills the plant. So it depends on how much fertilizer you use. It can help it or it can deteriorate it, right? So this is what we have. If you use this much fertilizer, right, we see an increase. We see an increase to a certain point, to a max. And then what happens if you keep using more fertilizers, your amount of yield is gonna decrease. Okay? So in this case, we have seen two things. We've seen an increase and a decrease. So we've seen an increase until we got to a certain point, saw a decrease after that. What do we call this graph? What shape is this? Elaf, you should know that. What shape is this?
Oh, no.
Parabola, that's right. It's a parabola. What does it represent? What equation does it represent? Does it represent linear, exponential, quadratic? Quadratic. Quadratic means to the power of 2. Okay? So this is the exponent. The exponential would be like the base to the power of x. That's what we've seen earlier. With quadratic, it would look like this, where you have the highest exponent is squared. So this is called a quadratic function. Ben, is this 6, 7, 8?
That's 8. I
Oh,
already
6, 7. I already gave it to you back yesterday.
Oh, you didn't? Did you mark those yet?
Yeah, I gave them back to you so you can use them. Okay? So this is a quadratic. In quadratic, we see an increase and then a decrease, or the other way around. Sometimes you see a decrease and then an increase. So in this case, as fertilizer, use increases the crop yield, also increases to a maximum, and then decreases. Okay? So we see an increase at first until we reach a maximum, then it decreases after that. So we're going to look at some trends in graphs, right? We see a lot of graphs in the media, we see a lot of graphs in research that we look at, we see a lot of trends in articles, right? And then we need to be able to read them, we need to be able to understand. In history, if you look at history, in any subject that you think about, right? Data, anything that you think about, it has graphs and it has some trends, and you need to be able to understand how to read that graph. So, trends in graph are patterns of change. In a graph that are used to justify decisions and make predictions. How many of you watch stocks? or follow stuff. You see the trends? If you look at the trends, what's happening between year so and year so, what happens in between months, that month and that month, you see an increase, decrease, a flat, right? Okay, so this is an example where we have the number of births in Ontario from 1945 to 2005. This is very important for the government to decide what they need to do to help the people, right? What do they need to focus on? It's a good thing to look at, like, let's say, if there's a lot of babies being born right now, in 65 years, how much are we gonna pay them when they get to retire? Things like that. How can we save for that day? Okay? So not only for the purpose of now, it's also for the purpose of the future. So this is the birth in Ontario from 1945 to 2005. We're going to look at the trend and we're going to describe the graph. There's three types of things that happen in the graph. You either see an increase, you see a decrease, or you see a flat, no change, constant trend, right? So we see increase. So it's either increasing, decreasing, or constant. So as you can see, I've already split the graph for you to different sections. Okay? Now, why did I use that split? Why did I split between, let's say, 1945 and 1960? Why did I use that? Why didn't I go from 1945 to 1970? Because there's only an increase, right? After that, what do you see? A decrease. After that, you see. So you kind of split your graph for the increase, and then when you see a change in the trend, then you have to stop it. Okay? So I can see that from this year to this year, I have an increase, but after that, I have a decrease, so I have to stop my trend right there. Okay? So, what's happening between 1945 and 1960? And how increase, like, describe that increase for me. Fast, slow, fast. It's a rapid increase, right? 1945, baby boomers, right? Right? This is where we have a lot of babies. These are all the babies that are turning 70 now, right? They're in their 70s, right? And that's why they say right now we have a problem because we don't have enough people to pay for these baby boomers. Right? My generation. So,
yeah, we had my generation, more people were born in these.
Well, what did you want? This is between 45 and 65.
It does.
I think it was 1990 to like 2000.
There was more people born in 1990 to 2000? You have to look that up. So the number of births rapidly increase to a maximum of 160,000. In 90. Now the second part of your graph, which is the B part, right? So that's between 1960 and 1975. What do you see there? If you look at it actually, at first it's a rapid decrease, right? It's decreasing rapidly. right? And then after that, it kind of slowly started decreasing, right? Where it's kind of like did not decrease as much. So we're gonna say that the number of births
1975.
1960 to 1970. Yep. Decreases
12 times 3.
rapidly.
6 times 6.
Then more.
You ever appreciate that? I did appreciate it.
And then rapidly
And
again.
is there some question that you have written down? I think I'm over.
It's just the.
Okay? So if you look right here, we have a fast decrease. That's a very slow decrease, right? You don't see a lot of changes, but then back to a fast decrease. How about between 1975 to 1980? Constant, right? There's no decrease or increase in the number of births. So the number of births is constant. So I have no change.
Let's see.
Between 1980 and 1990. So I'm talking about this.
Slow increase.
Slow increase,
This one.
And then rapid.
that's not rapid.
That's what you should do. And then come back and forth. We know how to do it, right? Nothing like that. I'm gonna write the 1990 and the other one on this page because I have the picture. There's a one time where we did that. I should probably roll it.
You guys have to flip the page. So if you look at the graph, what do you see in the 1990 to 2000? Yeah, slow decrease, then a rapid decrease. Right? Slow, then rapid. And for the last one, we see a very slow, increase.
This is like,
I'll get back to this in a second. Let me just save it.
I know, but I mean, that's what I'm saying.